If I'm Jamaican,
yes, so I'm Jamaican, so what? So
I wear my culture clothes.
So what?
I don't have to wear.
You want to say I'm Jamaican first? I'm going to say I'm Jamaican first. No, I'm Muslim first. I'm Muslim first. It doesn't matter where I'm from. That's irrelevant.
On the sun-drenched island of Jamaica, where reggae beats echo through the mountains and Rastafari chants stir the soul, lies a story rarely told. A story of faith brought not by choice, but in chains, of enslaved West Africans reciting verses of the Quran beneath the sugarcane moon, of hidden prayers whispered in the hills of the Maroons, and of a community that disappeared into silence, only to rise again generations later. Today, that faith walks proudly on Jamaican streets, with mosques from Negril to Kingston, halal tourism taking root, Muslim women demanding visibility, and young Jamaicans embracing Islam not as something foreign, but as part of who they are. This is not just the history of Islam in Jamaica, this is its revival. The earliest Muslims arrived forcibly, shipped from West Africa, regions steeped in Islamic scholarship, Mandinka, Fula, Hausa, Ashanti peoples. Accounts from 18th and 19th century writers note well-educated enslaved Muslims, some who had memorized the Quran, wrote in Arabic, quietly performed prayers, and fasted in secret. Among these first Muslims came the Maroons, freedom fighters who escaped bondage into the rugged mountain interiors. Scholars like Dr. Sultana Afroz suggest that legendary leaders, Nani, Quao, Kafi, bear Arabic-derived names and conducted their councils using Quranic expressions. Though much of that legacy has been obscured, the oral traditions and etymology preserve an echo of their Islamic identity. After emancipation in 1838, this early Islamic tradition faded, replaced in many cases by Christianity. Limited literacy, broken families, colonial suppression, and lack of organizational structures caused Islamic identity to slide into silence. Between 1845 and 1917, about 37,000 Indians emigrated to Jamaica as indentured laborers, and approximately 16% were Muslims. These South Asian Muslims brought their faith openly, establishing the first formal mosques in Spanish Town, 1957, and later in Kingston, Mandeville, Negril, Ocho Rios, and beyond. One of the founding mosques, Masjid al-Rahman, was built by immigrant Muhammad Khan in 1957. Today, there are around 15 mosques, and Muslim Jamaicans now number between 1,500 to 6,500.
Very limited, I would say, stigma. The stigma here, we are very grateful that the Jamaican population itself is quite receptive to Muslims. And because we are persons and individuals who they know, and we grow in the communities, we haven't faced that level of skepticism. There is minimal amount though, I can't say it, because for example, the women sometimes have difficulty in employment because of their dress code. So sometimes the dress code, even though they may have the qualifications, the dress code does present a challenge sometimes in terms of getting employment. One of the major challenges we face generally though is traveling. So even local immigration and whether returning home or leaving, there are sometimes, many times, you are basically pulled from the line, ask certain questions. So you do face that traveling. Majority of the stigma and challenge we face is traveling. I've traveled several times. I've traveled to the Caribbean because my wife is Guyanese, and I've traveled between Guyana, Trinidad, Bahamas, and also in the Middle East. I went to Dubai and I went to Saudi Arabia as well. I went to perform the pilgrimage to Hajj. And let's put it, of this many times I've traveled, I anticipate my name will be called on the speaker. There are two occasions that I've traveled, not hearing my name, and it was very surprising. It was welcoming, but very surprising. Only twice, and as I said, I've traveled numerous times. So I anticipate that my name will be called. So for example, my name will be called to ask, okay, what's in your luggage? I remember when I was going to marry my wife, This was in 2006. And I remember when I got married to her and we were coming, where I was returning home, they called me and everybody else, they tell them to go. So I was called out, they asked what's in the bags, they emptied the suitcase. And I can remember we have halal products. So whenever, that's in terms of how we sacrifice our animals. So whenever we say halal, like corned beef and sausage, we don't really have those things a lot. So in Guyana, there was a man I was bringing, they asked me what are in the cans, and if they can open the cans, I said no problem, if you want to take the cans, whatever the case is. So I was held, it was to that extent where I saw them moving away, because I could have seen the flight, and they were moving the stairs, they were moving the steps away, and I asked, how am I going to get home, what are you doing? So they had to call the pilot, hold the flight, and that was, because as I said, I anticipated it, it's something I expect, and generally this is what I get a lot of hold up. It's at least 2 occasions that flights have been called just to wait on the last passenger, because I'm being questioned, my bags are being checked again, even though everything was checked. And when it's cleared, then of course, as I said, I've never been locked up because I'm not guilty of anything. But I've had a lot of challenges.
Central to this growth is the Islamic Council of Jamaica, founded in 1981 at its headquarters and mosque on Camp Road, Kingston. Led by figures like Sheikh Musa Tijani, the council offers religious literacy, open mosque days, and neighborhood services, including medical clinics, food distribution, and school visits. In Old Harbour, the Mahdi Mosque, the first Ahmadiyya house of worship in Jamaica, opened in 2011. Its annual health fairs, children's activities, and community events illustrate Islam's benevolent presence in Jamaican civic life. Muslim Jamaicans participate in traditional festivals, fasting and reflection during Ramadan, celebration at Eid, and the vibrant Jose Ashura processions, an Indo-Muslim tradition that survived colonialism and still animates communities, especially in Clarendon. These festivals bridge Muslim Jamaican culture uniquely, forming part of Jamaica's wider, multicultural mosaic. Even today, individuals like a Montego Bay-raised convert who embraced Islam in their teens speak of personal transformation, embracing identity, spiritual grounding, and community belonging. Leaders like Muhammad Mustafa, Islamic Council President, and Marufat Tijani, Islamic school principal, have been instrumental, establishing Arabic language elementary schools and spreading knowledge to both Muslims and non-Muslims. Their efforts promote interfaith harmony, hosting open days, donating to neighbors in need, and participating in civic dialogues. Jamaica has been particularly active. In June 2023, they held their first annual gatherings, Ijtimas, for youth and women, fostering unity and religious education nationwide, drawing both local and Caribbean attendees for spiritual workshops, Quran recitations, and community bonding. Islam in Jamaica is a story of resilience, revival, and belonging. It's a faith that survived forced migration, grew through new arrivals, and now enriches Jamaica's identity. Join us as we continue to uncover the hidden threads of history and culture. If this journey intrigued you, please like, share, and subscribe. And let us know, what other untold stories would you like us to bring into the light?